You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast following a dominant 6-2 win for the Ottawa Senators over the Arizona Coyotes. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller for our first live postcast of the season. Pillsy, the Sens still dominating on home ice.
What a game to have our first live postcast together, Ross. And just in case people in Toronto are wondering, that is how you beat the Arizona Coyotes properly. And look, I know in the chat a lot of people are saying Norris injury at what cost, but we're gonna get to that because that's obviously a big part of this game, a big story of it. But let's revel in the moment because that was yet again another big game at home for the Ottawa Senators. I mean, we knew the Sens offense was going to have a whole different look this season, Ross, from that offseason. But the boys have really done a good job of treating the home crowd with some goals to Selly. Like that train horn is getting used.
It certainly is. I can't imagine. Let us know in the chat if you've been to all three home games. Could you imagine? Oh. I'm just getting my voice back today.
Yeah, exactly.
Averaging 6 goals per game on home ice. Like that's not the Ottawa Senators that I came to know.
And Ross, it's not just the top 6 that we thought was going to light it up. That third line has been absolutely dominant. And the fourth line, how about Casty mixing in a couple goals here for us? And that fourth line has looked good all season, even with limited ice time. So we have a lot of Sens Central standouts, a lot of positives. Another Sens win. They're above 500 now. You love to see it.
You love to see it. 3-2 on the season. What we called with Cheryl Pounder on yesterday's show, a must-win game early in the year, and the Sens come through. Let's go through a quick scoring summary of this one. Again, doesn't take long to make sure the home crowd is engaged and celebrating on their feet. Shane Pinto right in the slot. Assists go to Tyler Mott and Artem Zub on that one, and then it's followed up by Josh Norris, his first of the year, with a primary assist for Jake Sanderson and Alex DeBrincat in there. And I stumbled because I'm really upset with what happened at the end of the game. Josh Norris leaving, did not return. We'll hope to have a word from DJ Smith on the severity sooner rather than later, although it looks like after the game he said no update as of yet. However, after 2-0 after the first period, it was Dylan Genther, his first career goal, shocker, coming against Ottawa on the power play. And that didn't last long because the 2-goal lead was restored on an Ottawa power play. Less than 2 minutes later, the captain, Brady Tkachuk, scoring with Drake Batherson and Tim Stützle on the assist. And then 22 seconds later, the Coyotes again bring it back 3-2. That's the way the second period ended. And then the Sens pulled away. Mark Kaslick is second of the year, unassisted at 6:15 of the third period. 4-2 Ottawa. Tyler Mott gets his second. Batherson and Pinto assist. And it's 5-2. And then the captain, his second of the game from Sanderson and Stützle. 6-2 the final score. Pillsy, let's start at the beginning. Shane Pinto, goals in 3 straight games. This kid's just on a roll.
4 straight games, is it not?
Four.
4 goals. That's absolutely sick, Ross. Come on now.
Oh, I like that. This is where we need Guy Boucher to jump in. But that 4 goals, 4 games. And would you look at that? He's tied in goals with supposed, Hall of Famer Cole Caufield, the way they're talking about him out of Montreal?
Hall of Famer. Get that garbage out of here.
Wow. So what is it that's making him so successful?
It's that release. I mean, I've said it so many times. I'm still shocked at how good that release is. And I really thought Shane Pinto's bread and butter was going to be in the face-off dot, playing a good two-way game. Him and Mott being the defensive guys on that third line and Joseph ripping it up. But they've been feeding Pinto, and he has not made any mistakes. Anytime he touches the puck, it seems to turn into a good situation. And I've been so impressed with Shane Pinto, and he's going to get a chance, unfortunately, but when one door closes, another door opens for Shane Pinto, as he's going to get elevated in ice time here with Josh Norris probably out for a while. But we can see more of Shane Pinto. And as long as those pesky shoulder injuries don't spread through the team like we've seen in past, I think Shane Pinto can rise to the challenge. And seeing him, like we've talked about it, that third line has been dynamite lately. But the connection between him and Giroux is absolutely incredible. So I have no doubts that Pinto can handle that elevation in the lineup.
Right. He played 16:36 tonight. He was 64% in the faceoff circle, goal, assist, +1, shot as well. But I like him so much on the line he's on. I don't know what the move is if Josh Norris can't go Monday against Dallas.
It's like Brandon Piller, not a doctor, but it's probable that Josh Norris is going to be out sometime. I would be shocked, pleasantly surprised if he's playing in Monday's game against Dallas. But I really think it's easy, Ross. For me, there's no question. I know some people are thinking Brassard, you can slot him up in the lineup, but it's an easy move to move Pinto up there.
Brassard comes in, though, for you over Gambrell?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I like Gambrell, but you signed Brass for a reason. You want to replace some of that offense that's gone, and I think he can do just as good a job on that third line with Joseph and Mott. Just as good a job. 4 goals in 4 games. That's a high bar to set for Derek Brassard coming in here. But I think he can do a good job, and he's someone that's motivated. He got signed on a PTO. You think he wants to play games? Hell yeah, he does. So now he has a chance, and it's going to be great to see Derek Brassard in his second term as a Senator.
What's your biggest takeaway from this game?
The Ottawa Senators did not fall to the trap game. This was your prototypical trap game. The Leafs, those entitled players that just get big contracts right away, and real money is just fun coupons for them to throw around. The Ottawa Senators, they keep that workmanship mentality. They keep grinding, keep playing a good game. And it was kind of close for a while. Like, obviously, I don't think any Sens fans were worried, but it was 2-1 and 3-2 for a decent portion of this game. It wasn't until the third that they really pulled away. So there was no guaranteed victory here. And the Arizona Coyotes, although they have limited talent, they got a pretty good tendy, all things considering. And if they can get a couple lucky bounces like that, oh my God, that Clayton Keller goal, like that guy needs to be playing pinball or Plinko for some serious cash after, because that goes off of Sanderson and Hamonic and in. So lucky goal there, nothing Forsey can do. But Forsey, I got to give stick taps to him, because he's not a goalie. We mentioned this last game, Ross. He's not a goalie that likes to play cold, that excels in a low amount of shots. He loves getting pucks on and feeling it and staying in the groove of the game. So for him to make even more saves, back-to-back huge saves on the same penalty kill, that keeps the team in the game, and that allows them to pull ahead with a big 6-2 win.
Yes, it certainly does. And we'll see what happens on the injury front. But we know that this lineup can score goals. They are FUN exclamation mark. Oh my God. They have no problem zipping it around the offensive zone. The D were activating. The D were coming up from their own zone. The breakout just seems so seamless, with Eric Brandstrom taking an enormous step this year. It's Jake Sanderson coming in looking like an NHL veteran with a lip the size of his head almost. It was 15 stitches he got after the game.
15?
Yeah, it was 15 in his lip. Man, it was wild. Man. He came back and finished the game. Super impressive for the young kid. And then Thomas Chabot, I think, is really taking a step this year. +3 today, 5 shots on goal, and didn't lead defenseman in ice time. Artem Zub played just a shade under 25 minutes. Thomas Chabot second at 22:31. We still have Send Central standouts to get to, and then the postcast after dark. But, oh my God, the last 3 games, it's been so much fun at Bet Online. The player props, that's what we love. It's responsible. You just throw like 2, but it's always good odds. You risk 2 to win 10 type thing. And that's what we do at Bet Online, the #1 sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network. And for great reason, because at Bet Online, you bring the game into your living room. I was standing up cheering. I had Sens puck line today. It all goes great thanks to our friends at Bet Online. What was your favorite prop that you hit today, Pilsy?
Ross, it wasn't a prop, but you can choose whether to believe me or not. But I hit a parlay, and of course, it's on an unannounced, non-podcast parlay. And the Sens parlayed with the over. I think that was easy money, so I went for it. And of course, it hits when the good people weren't there to hear about it. But I swear, I hit a parlay finally. We won't count it towards my record, but I got it.
We're sure, though.
We're sure. Yeah, we're sure. Money's in the account, bud.
Okay. I don't know if you're just trying to make your your parlay look a little better with the overall record. That's all.
No. I said it won't count towards the record. I'm not going to sneak one by the good people.
Oh,
Still 0-2. 0-2.
Okay. Well, you'll get a chance next week. Bet Online. Thank you to our sponsors, Bet Online. It's where the game starts. All right, part 2 of the postcast. Following a 6-2 Ottawa Senators victory. Definitely put your pints up. And speaking of pints, Pilsy, we were just in the market last week. It's green light for the boys in the market tonight with a game Monday. They're out of the rink, 6:30. It's dinner. It's a few beverages, and they've earned it with a 3-game win streak. This is the longest win streak to start on home ice since 2016, Claire Hanna said when she was interviewing Shane Pinto.
I believe that. Yeah, that's not a surprising stat.
Yeah, we've had surprising stats before, but not that one, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to, they were talking about how Arizona's starting on the road for like 14 games, but if you're a Yotes player, that's actually pretty sweet. In the months where when you're on the road and it's every road place you're visiting, it's not the middle of December or January, so it's not crap weather. And then when it is crap weather in all those spots, they probably have at least 14 home games where you get to spend in sunny Arizona partying up with the kids at ASU. So I don't think anyone's complaining about that if you're a Yotes player.
No doubt. But, I mean, that's probably as far as the compliments I'll go with the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, this
Pretty
is
much,
a team. Yeah. This is a team that beat the Toronto Maple Leafs last week, but that team stinks.
The Leafs? Yeah, I know.
Oh, both. This was a bad hockey team we watched today.
Yeah, I mean, Ross, maybe people can let's see in the chat if anyone can come up with a better answer, but this has to be the worst roster in at least a decade, maybe even more. Like,
what was
you can't get much worse.
The Sabres that tanked for what they thought was Connor McDavid turned out to be Jack Eichel.
I think this roster's worse. Like, I mean, and you can't really blame the Coyotes when they're moving to an arena that they can't even get their logo on center ice and there's only 5,000 seats. I mean, the cash can't exactly be flowing around there. So they're not paying too much money, and they're in the Bedard sweepstakes here. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Who's your central standout today?
You know what? When there's this many goals, I'm going to leave you some. I mean, it's not low-hanging fruit.
Oh, no, we're good. We're doing 2 each.
Exactly. Yeah, good. I'm going to start with my guy, Casty. I know he only plays 8 minutes and 5 seconds, but there's just so much. What's that? Yeah, I'm getting to it. Don't you worry. 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Sure, maybe you're thinking, oh, there's so many other guys that had an impact. And yeah, I'll agree with you there. But I want to give my guy Casty. He was one of the 4 guys when we did our guy draft, and for a good reason. He gets a goal, he gets in a fight, and 85% in the dot. Like, that's a fourth line guy where I don't want to call him a face-off specialist, Ross, but he is so good in the dot. And I was wondering, like, okay, is it just a couple games where I really notice him and he just has good face-off stats? No, for his career, he's 61.1% in the dot. And sure, that's only like 140 faceoffs, I think, not a math guy, but it's not a lot of faceoffs. But to be that consistent as a young centerman is pretty damn impressive. And he goes out there, he's banging bodies, he plays a good shift every time he's on the ice. I feel like the boys love him. He's the perfect guy to be a fourth center. So I know it's a bit obscure, and sometimes I tend to lean towards the bottom 6 guys when I'm making my picks, but I don't care. Give me Casty. Casty's my central standout.
Well, I wrote it. I said, what a guy. He's leaving Tyler Mott on the board?
Yeah. Well, hey, we got 2 central standouts, don't we?
Yeah, I'm not going to take Tyler Mott, but I will tell you, Tyler Mott is a guy DJ Smith is quickly learning to rely on, hey?
Man, and I know, Ross, you mentioned that, like, on the third line, you're kind of like, I don't know about it. I want him on the fourth line. I'm going to push back on that.
3 points in 2 games since I said that.
Yeah, I think he can handle a third line role, and I don't want to fully do the comparison, but he's almost like a Zach Hyman type for a third line, right? Like he's the guy that give Pinto and Joseph, you guys focus on the offense. I'll do all the dirty work. I'll win all those puck battles, and I'll feed you guys the puck, and I'll play good brand of hockey. Like I know he gets an easy, cheap one with Vimelka thinking he has it and it's sitting right there, but you got to be in the right place at the right time. And Tyler Mott seems to do that more often than not. And that's just good hockey IQ that and hard work that kind of overshadows. I was about to say lack of talent. I'm not going to say he's a lack of talent, but he's not known as an elite, offensive guy. But he's got a good hockey IQ and he knows where to be.
5 points in his last 3 games. They haven't updated it with the goal and an assist yet.
Good. That's good.
5 points in his last 3 games. You know what's better than that, though, Pilsy? 7 points.
Oh, even better than 6.
7 points in the last 3 games. And that's Drake Batherson. This guy
you could go a bunch of ways with that.
He was a beast defensively in this game. Like he had the breakaway off a pick. He had another turnover at the half wall. Offensively, in the on the power play in those situations, he's just so creative. He's a treat to watch. And I tweeted out at Sen Central. I said every day he looks more and more like Mark Stone. Remember when we interviewed him way back when he was in junior? And he's like, yeah, in the scouting combine, they ask you who you model your game after. Yep. And I wrote Mark Stone. And you're like, yeah, I'm really seeing how he turns defensive situations into a scoring chance so quickly. It's a super impressive feat.
Yeah, and Batherson was gonna be my Sen Central standout, but I just fell in love with the Casty stat line there, so it steered me.
That's it's wild, but I respect it. I'm the guy who didn't I choose Hamnick second as my guy draft. He's kind of fallen off, I will say, in the last couple of games. He's started so well in those road games, and then
but he's still been good. He's done what you want him to do, right?
Okay, I'm ready to see Jake Sanderson with someone else.
I'm okay with it so far because it's not like he's hindered Jake Sanderson. And hey, shout out Jake Sanderson, 2 assists and a beauty assist on that Brady breakaway. Like that's a good 2-line pass that works out real nice there. So yeah, stick taps to Sandy.
Both primary assists. This guy is really starting to feel it in the National Hockey League. But Drake Batherson now with 8 points in 5 games to start the season, I believe tied with Brady Tkachuk, who had 2 goals of his own today. Those two going head-to-head there on the top line with Tim Stützle, who had a pair of assists as well. Another multi-point game for him. Lots of multi-point games. I'll run through them. 2 goals for Brady, 2 assists for Sanderson, 2 assists for Drake, 2 assists for Timmy, and then a goal and an assist for Tyler Mott, Shane Pinto as well. Unreal game offensively for this team. And yes, we always have to put the asterisk. This is the Arizona Coyotes. Their only defensemen who were even tonight were Juuso Välimäki and Josh Brown.
Josh Brown was even. It seemed like, and maybe just because that's a defenseman like we know and recognize, it seemed like he was out there for a lot of mistakes.
I loved At-Lalim's Martian, what he said there, because he was at the game. He said, I swear I just saw Josh Brown look up and he said, where did these guys all come from?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I like at the end of the game, there's like a minute there and that scrum ensues and Matthew Joseph goes to Josh Brown. It's 6-2. Like, what are we doing scrumming around here? Like, come on.
I like that. All right, give me one more standout, then I'll wrap it up. We'll put a bow on this game and then get into the Postcast After Dark. Stick around. That's where we get into the chat and have some more fluid conversation. But Pilsy, you've got Mark Kastelik. Where are you going with your second Sen Central standout?
I had another kind of obscure one, but I can't just leave all the top ones here. I got to go with the obvious ones, or else people in the chat are going to get at me here.
Yep.
How about the captain, Brady Tkachuk? Let's give some Sen Central standout for him. 2 goals, like I mentioned, that one on the breakaway. Like, I love, Ross, for me, I think the best visual is a like on the ice shot breakaway goal. It just looks so smooth, and that's the sign of a high hockey IQ player, because obviously on a breakaway, you want to go top cheese, you want to do a big deke, you have all these grand ideas in your head, but the players that slide on the puck, that's a simple case of waiting, reading the goalie, finding your spot, and picking it. And it just we're a goalie friendly show, but it makes the goalie look silly when you go 5-hole or low on him. And Brady often does that. That's his go-to move. And I just thought when you look at his stat line, you got he's a +1. He's got 2 goals, 4 shots, 1 hit, 50% in the dot for a winger, not too bad. And he's someone that just keeps his team engaged. Like I mentioned, this wasn't a runaway game early. 2-1, 3-2 were some spots in this game. And Brady keeps the guys active. He's talking to the refs. You see him chirping. You see him throwing hits. And how about that between the legs random shot that he tries? I actually think when I saw the replay, I think he was trying to go backdoor. Maybe it was Batherson that was crashing towards the net. I think that's more what he was trying to do. But Brady Tkachuk is the captain of this team for a reason, and I thought he had a hell of a game. And I love at the end of the game when, after that scrum I was talking about, they get a power play. Waddy is out there, and DJ Smith not putting his top power play guys out, but he puts Brady on. And it was like the final game of last year, Ross, when everybody was trying to get Brady his 30th goal. They were forcing it so hard to Brady, and it was so obvious. And he did get one shot opportunity, but didn't get it. But they were trying to get the captain, the Hattie, which would have just, if all those Oktoberfest fedoras just start flying on the ice, that would have been awesome.
We'll get into more individual details. And again, if you're just listening to this in your car, when you get home, tune in on YouTube. You can scrub right to the end. After dark, the postcast. But we always want to keep it tight and concise, just kind of a recap of what happened in the game for people who are on their way to work or maybe church, because it's God's day tomorrow. But you said Brady Tkachuk, that leads us in perfectly. Who's going to get the player of the game chain? It's from Drake Batherson. I put Brady Tkachuk, and so far through 40 votes, that's the leader. However, Brady gave it to Drake. I have a feeling that he's going to mix it up, get everybody involved. I feel like that's what these leaders on the team are going to get into. But before we get to that, I'm glad that Drake has it, because otherwise he should be leading this poll himself. That's my first Send Central standout in this game. And for my second, oh yeah, Jake Sanderson. We already spoke about him at length, but the fact that he came back from, I don't want to say a major injury because you can play with it, but I would say of the injuries that you can come back and play for, 15 stitches on your face has to be up there. Pilsy, he wasn't even wearing a cage today. He's like, nah, bro, I'm not in college anymore. I'm just rocking the visor. And if I get hit again, I get hit again. But he was still smooth. He was still able to facilitate the puck offensively. He's unreal. All right. Unreal.
Yeah, unreal is a great way to describe it.
I feel like it's easy. Like Pinto was first star in the building, but I feel like that's too easy. Let's go with Sanderson with the 2 primary assists.
Yeah, and they showed a replay. I think it might have been on the penalty kill when Sanderson just breaks up a play, gets out of the zone, skates in transition, and just fires a shot on net. Not a big deal, but a nice play on the PK. But then they show the ISO replay, and if EP could have seen this, they would have been giving him draft grades through the goddamn chart, because his skating is so smooth. Like, I don't know a whole lot about perfect formation and excellent strides. And when when EP talks about the angles that the legs are in, they get the protractor out. But that looked pretty amazing to me. Like, you cannot be understated how good of a skater he is.
Yeah, no question about that. And it leads to every aspect of his game. Right now, we've got a tight race for the player of the game. But I just want to get this little cocky stat in there. And again, I'm saying it tongue in cheek. We have no hatred for Jamie Drysdale, good defenseman. And it's an age gap. Like, he came into the NHL at 19, and COVID did play a part in that as well, because he couldn't play in the OHL. It never got up and running. So they kind of had carte blanche to try it with him. Jamie Drysdale had 8 points his rookie year in 24 games. Jake Sanderson has 5 points in his first 5 games in the National Hockey League. Wow. Sorry, 3. They've actually already updated. Are you kidding me? They've already updated. Never mind. 3 points in his first 5
I was going to say, that seems more than I thought.
Oh, well on his
that's
way.
Still good.
Because on NHL.com, I have to add, not a math guy, but I had to add on NHL.com for Mott. So then when I went to HockeyDB, I just figured they've already updated it. The game's been over for an hour. So that's on me, hand up. But Drysdale's great, but honestly, it looks great having Jake Sanderson in the mix here with the Ottawa Senators. But yeah, I got Jake Sanderson and Drake Batherson as my standouts. And Pilsy has Brady Tkachuk and Mark Kaslick as is. We clearly omitted Shane Pinto, who should be in the mix. And you know what? I'm going to go on record and saying it right now. It's a dead heat in the chat. 42% each, Pilsy, through 66 votes. Brady Tkachuk and Shane Pinto. They're going with Pinner tonight.
Yeah, it's Pinner. Yeah.
And not only that, Batherson knows that Josh is out. It's like, let's give our kid who's probably going to have to step into that role. Let's give him a little bit of confidence going into that. So I like that. Shane Pinto, we got to finish the show by mentioning. We already mentioned him before we even got to our standouts. When you're in the headlines rather than the standouts, that's like a whole other level of sick. Speaking of sick, Forsberg still did have a couple good saves, though, in that third period when it was 3-2 early on. He made a couple to make sure that there was no upset.
Yeah, that was going to be my obscure one because, sure, he doesn't get peppered with a lot of shots, but to make those big saves when you're cold and haven't been in the action is pretty impressive. So he deserves some stick taps.
All right, we got some notes in the chat. We're going to get to that in our postcast after dark, but I will say that there is no update on Josh Norris as of yet. Hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday. I'm assuming it's a day off tomorrow after Saturday afternoon. Maybe they'll practice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but Monday, we'll at least at the very latest have an update on Josh Norris. Didn't look great. Non-contact injury, though. It didn't look like the guy on the other end of the faceoff went down on him or anything. It just looked like it was just awkward. But you could tell the camera panned into the tunnel and he was not happy. And that leads me to believe it's probably not guaranteed that he plays at least Monday. I'm not saying it's long term, but we know that Josh Norris has had multiple shoulder injuries before, once in college and then in his rookie season. Or was it last year? It was last year.
Last year. Yeah.
That's too bad. All right. Well, hopefully we get good update on him. But the Ottawa Senators have won 3 in a row. They've started their home schedule with 3 straight wins for the first time in half a decade, and they're doing it on the backs of offensive performances. Villarreal is going to have to charge more royalties for the sound that they use after a goal. The Sens are averaging 6 goals per game on home ice. We'll be back Monday to break this down. Look ahead to Dallas. We've also got a crossover coming with the host of Locked On Dallas Stars, one of the beauties of the network. You're going to look forward to hearing our chat with Dane Lewis coming up. But again, we're going to stay in the chat. But if you're listening in the car or wherever you download your audio podcast, make sure to check out the After Dark in the Postcast studio, what we'll call it, with the live studio audience. Always look forward to mixing it up with them. And congratulations to Riley. Riley is getting to the game with her boyfriend. They picked up the tickets from my my parents' place the other day, and it's just awesome to see. It's the type of people that I wanted to win it. He said, Pilsy, that he's been listening to the podcast since before the pandemic. We've had a lot of people who listened during they picked it up. He's like, I remember the one you did where you were in the airport in Los Angeles. Remember I was on the cell phone? That was like episode 10. So I'm really stoked.
That's awesome.
That Calvin and Riley are going to get these photos. So stay tuned on Twitter at Sens Central. We'll get some photos from them from the game on Monday night. But the Sens are undefeated at home. Pilsy and I will be back with the Postcast After Dark. But the Senators are victorious. 6-2 winners over the Arizona Coyotes on a Saturday afternoon in Ottawa. Give us 30 seconds and we'll be back for the Postcast After Dark. Holy, what a game. That's go ahead.
Ross, I want to get into the Postcast After Dark is meant for the chats in the comments section. There's a bunch of ones that I want to highlight right away. First off, our guy Joe Bell, always mentioning to people to be sure to hit the like button. We really appreciate that, Joe. Second, Sean Foisey, our guy at the game, and he's logging into the Postcast right away. You love to see that kind of determination. And then third,
ask him where he had lunch today. Ask him where he had lunch.
No, we know he had Shawarma Palace. And then third, we got a shout out. If Calvin was listening to Locked On Senators way back in those days, Ross, he would know our guy Parley, who is also here, Parley in the chat too. So just the Postcast After Dark, we love interacting with all you guys, and 3 beauties right off the bat.
Oh yeah, we'd invite Parley in, but what have we done it 3 times and he can't get the Woodstock
We've tried.
Oh, boy, Parley. That's a direct shot at you, kid. No, we absolutely love seeing you here. And let's actually touch on Parley's favorite player in the whole wide world ever since before he came to Ottawa.
Ooh.
Alex DeBrincat still only has one goal. It's an empty netter, but this guy looks dangerous every shift. I'm not worried in the slightest about his production.
And if it wasn't for a snap twig, he probably would have had another one.
Yes.
Shabbat feeds him for a nice one, and it's right in his wheelhouse. But the old Sherwood doesn't hold up for him there. And he's looked good, and he gets a bunch of shots. Ross, I had another parlay. Brady shots over 3.5 combined with DeBrincat over 3.5. Brady did his job, but DeBrincat not on that one. But that seems like a good bet to go with, because DeBrincat's been averaging like 5 shots a game, and Brady is easy money for 4 shots a game. So you win some, you lose some. Huh?
What do you get, 2?
I think you got 2. Yeah.
Oh, that's
happens.
so bad.
I hit in other areas, so it's not sad boy pillsy today. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Josh is in the chat just asking if he thinks Brassard or Gambrell should come in. You already said your piece, so I'll say mine. I think you go with Derek Brassard, and honestly, like, I love seeing Shane Pinto up there, but after the game that third line had, and after the first 2 games, remember how high we were on those guys going into Buffalo? They kind of got run up by.
I thought you're going somewhere else with that, but yes, yeah, absolutely. That's we were feeling good about it. That's for sure.
Oh, but then after the Buffalo game, we're like, man, like, they kind of got torched by Peterka and Quint. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
I was almost like down on the third line. Joseph did not look good in the first 2 games on the road. And then, like, they're building such chemistry over these last 3 games. Like, there's a little part of me that wants Brassard to just slide in with Giroux and DeBrincat.
No, come on. No.
Game, but like, I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, I do. It's the fact that your third line left winger, who you got in August off free agency, has 5 points in his last 3 games.
Yeah, but it's a fun idea, but it would be, look, I'm not a coach, but it would be a mistake not to put Pinto up on that second line right away. So I'm going to disavow any of that conversation.
All right, we're going to see Monday, man, because I'm feeling it a little bit.
You put Brassard in after he hasn't played at all, and you put him on the second line with Giroux and DeBrincat when Pinto has 4 goals in 4 games and has chemistry with Giroux?
Well, look who he has the points with.
Giroux on the power play has been setting him up. I don't know. It's fun, but that's a hard no for me.
No way. Did we just hear that? No, I think Excel is messing with us, because DJ Smith just said he didn't have an update when we started this show, and now he's saying a timeline. I don't buy that. I'm fact checking.
Why would our guy Excel Nozo lie to us?
45 minutes ago, Ian Mendez says DJ Smith says there's no update on Josh Norris. I'd be concerned if it's 5
weeks. I think it's going to be longish term. Like, he's not going to be back next week. It's a shoulder injury. He's had shoulder injuries in the past, and it's always those non-contact injuries that end up being serious, because that shows you how fragile that part of his body is. You don't even need anyone to touch it, really, and it just goes. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he's missing weeks here, unfortunately.
You think, right? Well, he just scored his first of the game, and like, you never want to see injuries. Again, I actually really loved how he was playing despite only having the 1 goal. We still think he had that goal that first shift. They just gave it, right? But honestly, this is a great chance for Shane Pinto to really make our Calder bets look good on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Pinto gets elevated for a little bit here, but it'd be better with Norris here. But this is the thing, Ross. This is why you signed Derek Brassard, because obviously you don't expect or want injuries to happen, but unfortunately they happen. And you need veteran guys that you don't mind sitting out for a bunch of games, and then when it's go time, they're ready to go. And I think Derek Brassard's going to be ready to go.
Okay. Well, there you go. Derek Brassard likely playing in game number 950 of his NHL career on Monday when the Ottawa Senators take on the Dallas Stars.
Not to question your math here, Ross, but didn't he need 49?
I need 51. I could be on one side. I'm not a math guy, guaranteed that.
Okay. No, we don't need to get into this. I don't even know why I brought it up, but the numbers were
You're right.
calculated
You're
in my
right.
head.
You're right. Yeah, you're the math guy here. You should
Oh,
have
no, that's not good.
this should be our math guy because nobody cares.
Yeah,
Nobody cares
that's
that you don't know math.
that's fair. Yeah, we can move on.
I got to get some proper. I got to get some proper things uploaded there. I have the thread we put up the other day,
Yep.
and I'm gonna have to go through a few of those because again, 4 goals in 4 games. Like, how did I not have Guy Boucher ready to go?
It's absolutely sick.
It's
Come on.
absolutely gross by me. It's actually gross. Buster Sword. So again, this is where we interact.
Yeah, let's get the chat going here.
Chat going. Oh, I don't like that. I like when the graphic comes, especially like I changed.
You're good, Buster. He just doesn't like the way that graphic came up.
Yeah, you're golden. Look at this though. Ooh, how much better does that look with the 3 layers? Come on, red, black, and white. Sense, baby.
Much better. So from Buster, I'm assuming that 5 is it. Oh boy, here we go. Buster 5-word 85.
Sword, I'm gonna guess.
I thought that's where I was going, but then I've been fooled by that before. Either way, the question is get Brass on that 4th line and swap out one of Kelly/Watson. Nah, that's not what I'm feeling, Ross. I think, I mean, why swap out Kelly or Watson? You're already replacing someone, and I think Kelly and Waddy have done a good job. Like I've mentioned, sure, they're not the all-stars of that 4th line. My guy Casty is, but that 4th line has been playing with energy. They're out there banging bodies, and I feel like for Brass to be effective, he needs a little bit more ice time than 8 minutes a night. So that's going to be a no for me on that one, Buster.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pillsy, because that 4th line, especially like they all played under 9:15. Watson was at 9:10, but he killed 4 minutes in penalties, so he was literally underweight math. I need to make up for my last, so let me do some quick math here. Under 5 minutes for sure.
Okay.
Under 5 minutes at even strength, especially because he had
generalize it, make it easier. There you go.
Austin Watson had 23 seconds on the power play at the end of a PP. Him, Watson, and Kelly all got power play time tonight. I actually love that. Well, Kelly actually played 47 seconds with the man advantage this afternoon. But no, they're all playing under 10 minutes. So to me, that's less of an issue. Yeah, as long as your top 9 is all in order, I just let that line go out, rattle the cage, rattle the boards a few times, and then send them on their merry way.
I'm with you on that one, Ross.
100%. We might be joined, by the way, with a special guest coming up. Who is
no way
tonight? So we'll see about that one. But the Let's Go Forsberg chance, we heard that one on TV. From Foisey.
Yeah, we heard it, Foisey, and it sounded good because he deserves it. Like I mentioned, it's tough being a goalie when you're used to getting a lot of shots and you got to just make, because your muscles are cold. And then when you got to make that cross crease slide over and have a big glove save or have a emphatic save, that's sometimes where you pull a muscle, which is not good. And we cannot have Foisey being injured for any amount of time here. So he's been staying sharp, and sure, maybe it's his numbers don't exactly look great, but he's got 3 wins in a row. Those are the stats I care about the most. So, attaboy, Foisey.
Losers.
Yeah. Thanks, Foisey, for the Foisey update.
I love it. Hey, this is a great question here from Abraham. Hellberg going to play a game or?
He's got to, and I've mentioned this before. You can't ride Forsberg this much, especially like we saw him get a lot of playing time last season out of necessity. But I really would have liked to see Hellberg in this game, not to play down to an opponent, but I think Hellberg could have handled it. And I would say, Ross, once you get to the 8 straight games played mark, that's when you need to consider what's that face.
For my
that's when he
is pointing out a very, very good thing. Smash the like button. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, Joe Bell said it. Listen to Joe, our guy Joe. That's when you need to start considering mixing in a game, even if it's not the best time. But I fully subscribe, and Connor Hellebuyck is a guy that loves to play a lot of games, but you see it wear and tear. Vasilevsky is a guy that plays a lot, but I really think you need to, and I hate this term because in basketball they overuse it, but load management, I think, is a thing for goalies, especially when you've got a guy like Forsey that's your number 1 right now, and you got a clear backup in Hellberg. You need to mix in the backup, and especially I mean, Hellberg, he's on a new team. He's got his new pads. Let him play. Come on.
Well, what's the game that he plays? Like Ottawa's got
Yeah,
Dallas on
let's look at the
Monday,
schedule here.
then they've got Minnesota
Oh,
on.
Florida. Get him against Florida.
But dude, not in the division. Come
No,
on.
that was a low shot at how strong we think Florida is here. Okay, so let's flip to November. Maybe but that's tough too. See, this is why. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Obviously, Forsey played a good game. They get a 6-2 win. You're not apologizing for that, but I'm sticking
Flyers
to it. Should have got Hellberg in here. Should have got Hellberg in. I mean, the Flyers. That's
Saturday.
still a long time though. Like you're
Cal's
looking.
gonna be back.
Pardon?
He's already skating with the team, dude. He's not gonna be 2 more weeks, you think?
Nah, but he's got a rib injury. You can skate with a rib injury, right?
Right.
So,
So they've got the
yeah.
and again, that's still a month away from their first back-to-back. No back-to-backs till December, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy and very fortunate because last season the Sens got they weren't exactly handled nicely by the schedule makers, and I mean the COVID thing that changes things, but much more ideal schedule this year.
Man, much more ideal team for the Ottawa Senators. I'm
Yeah,
looking
word.
at the stat trick right now, and it's actually hilarious.
Oh, Ross, before can I say the stat I wanted to say from Natural Stat Trick before you take it away?
Do it.
High danger chances, 11-1. I mean, that's playing good hockey up against a weaker team, making sure you get those high danger scoring opportunities and only giving up one. So that's the one I want to highlight. Take it away with your stats here.
Expected goals percentage wise when they're on the ice. I like doing the percentages because like expected goals for, like there's no way to like know what that's up against, but percentages obviously you versus the opponent. When Drake Batherson, Tim Stützle, and Drake Batherson, did I say him already? Sorry, Brady, Drake, and Timmy. When they were on the ice as a line at 5-on-5, they had 93.89% of the expected goals for. They were on the ice together for 11 minutes and 42 seconds. They had 16 shot attempts for and only 6 against. This line was absolutely dominant tonight, and they're creating offense. So what was your stat there with the high danger scoring chances?
11-1 team high danger scoring opportunities
Right.
or
That
chances.
counts power play. I'm just looking at 5-on-5. So at 5-on-5, they had 8 scoring chances.
No, this is 5-on-5 stats, Ross. I've got 5-on-5 selected.
Sorry, you're on scoring chances for?
High danger chances.
Really? Okay, so this is when all the 3 of them are together on the line. That's why I'm looking at forward lines. And it's a good Ottawa guy who created Natural Stat Trick, by the way. Brad, I believe his name is. That to say, when Drake Batherson, Tim Stützle, and Brady Tkachuk were out there on the ice together, they had 9 scoring chances for and 0 against. This was as dominant of an effort as you could see from those guys.
And Ross, would you say the Ottawa Senators elite players showed up to this game? Is that fair to say?
I lost my headphones. I can't even hear you, but I hope you're laughing. And just to make sure you are, here we go.
The reason I bring that up is Sheldon Keefe loves to call out his players, and I mean sometimes those players need to be called out. But the post-game comments from the Leafs coach was our elite players weren't showing up. Those stats Ross just gave you, I don't think we're going to hear our guy DJ Smith calling out his elite players.
Wait, the Leafs lost to the Coyotes?
I repeat, the Toronto Maple Leafs lost to the Arizona Coyotes.
And the Leafs are actually in my home. They're in my home city right now, taking on the Jets right now.
Peg. Nice.
Yeah, hope they lose that one too. Unreal game, man. I don't know how much more we got, but like anybody, if you have any final questions, you can. Otherwise, I think we got a lot to save for Monday. Hopefully, we have an update on Josh Norris's health.
Yeah.
Maybe we learn a little bit more. What's up with the Dallas Stars right now?
Ross, they were 3-0 last I checked. When we did our Locked On NHL show, I wanted to touch on them, but I forgot we were doing Eastern teams only. So I do know a little bit about them, and they recently beat your Winnipeg Jets. So the Stars have been looking good. Jake Ottinger, I mean, that guy's looking like an absolute stud. It's a tough team going up against the Stars, even though they're really anchored down by Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin's massive contracts. The rest of their kind of role players are really stepping up, and Miro Heiskanen is one hell of a player.
Ben D says both Dallas goalies have been unreal.
Bend over, your guy Ross.
He says that both Dallas goalies have been unreal. I believe it.
Yeah.
With Jake Ottinger, you look at how he played in the playoffs, and I guess egg on my face because we're chirping the Leafs. The Leafs actually beat Dallas in the last game, took overtime, but Dallas.
Nick Robertson scored. Ross beats his brother.
Yep. Oh, right, the brother matchup. We've seen a few of those over the years. Right? So
yeah, and we're gonna see one soon in Florida.
Yes, Dallas is playing Montreal tonight, and again, a reminder that Shane Pinto is tied in goals with Cole Caufield in goals. We know how much better, and I feel like an honest Habs fan would tell you that away from the puck, Shane Pinto is going to be the better player. He's a centerman. He's defensively responsible.
Where the hell are you going to find an honest Habs fan? You show me if you got one.
Yeah, fair enough, honestly. But when it comes to goal scoring, I get it. Like Cole Caufield, he's already proven me not wrong, but I knew he was going to be sick. But he's proven me wrong in terms of how quickly he's been able to do it. So for me, I think what's impressive is how Shane Pinto, as of today, this season, coming off, I'm not sure if you know, but Shane Pinto only played 5 games last year due to a shoulder injury. He's got 4 goals in 4 straight games. This guy's tied on the season with Cole Caufield. 4 goals. It's absolutely sick.
It certainly is. And yeah, Shane Pinto's looking great. And I don't have much more, Ross. I think we've pretty much covered it here. Is there a couple more chat questions? Hit us with some questions in the chat so we can end on a chat question here. It can be whatever. This is Postcast After Dark. Hit us with something crazy.
I like the Leafs, the Postcast after the last game where we just finished off with like 100 meows. Mr. Brinket had the last goal of the game. I was like, where's Siggy?
Yeah, hey, Siggy's kicking around. Pippin might bust through the door here in any minute like he did on one of our previous episodes. But we hope the other cat for the Ottawa Senators will be busting through with goals totals soon.
Nick Spence writing, and how'd the arena sound on TV? I thought it sounded pretty good.
It sounded loud, yeah. To reference what Foisey was talking about, the Go Forsberg chants, they were huge, and obviously the Zoom chats were through the roof.
Everybody write in the chat where Sean should go out for a few tonight. I think the best bet if you're looking to sing Mr. Brightside is probably Heart and Crown after.
That's what I was gonna say. Or what's that fancy place we went to, Ross, where Brady was bartending?
Oh, Matty.
Yeah, that could be a good one, but probably a little higher on the budget scale than Heart and Crown. Heart and Crown, we have made a tradition of going there before home openers, Ross. We get the same bartender every time, and both times they've won. So, yeah, if we could shout out that guy, we would.
No food last time, but their fries are unbelievable.
Yeah, nice fries.
Wait, why didn't we have food last time?
I think we had one thing on our mind, and that was getting after it. I don't think food was a priority.
You're such an idiot. I put that on a T for
you. No, we did. Oh, okay. We're talking about Shawarma Palace?
Oh, Shawarma Palace.
I thought you were talking at Heart and Crown, but yes, Shawarma Palace, I mean, Foisey, you can attest to this. The amount of food you get is ridiculous, and it's not a quantity over quality thing.
Oh.
You get quality and quantity together for a delicious meal and nutritious, as you got nice chicken, lettuce, turnips, garlic, mashed potatoes. Oh,
hummus,
yes,
hummus in there with, and then they put their own pita bread in a little bag. They spin it. They say, "All right, good luck eating that by yourself." But honestly, if I was in Ottawa right now, I'd be ordering one. I'm getting a little hungry.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we got a question here. Let's go with our guy.
All right, Mr.
I'm producing here. Yeah, look out, Matt McGloin, Matty Perth sends. So Bath with 2 more points to keep. Oh, we got a sound there.
Oh no, I'm just playing some scary music for our boy Matty. We know Matty McGloin. Here he comes.
All right, that's your music. Bath, 2 more points to keep his team lead. Ross and Pilsy, what's your prediction now for Sen's leading point scorer based on these 5 games? Ross, you go first.
Well, I had Brady Tkachuk before the season, did I not?
Yeah, but now he's saying with updated stats and how things are going, where you're at.
Yeah, who's leading the team in points?
Is it Brady?
Drake and Drake and Brady are tied. Yeah, I'm sticking with Brady,
You're sticking
100%.
with Brady? Okay. I'm going Timmy. I still think Timmy's got more in the tank here. And I that was my original guess. So we're both not very fun here, just sticking with what we're going with. But that's us trusting our instincts of the
Like
past.
DJ Smith, too. He hasn't changed the lines after those 2 games. I was starting to call for it. I believe I tweeted out, put the lines in the blender, but I'm not saying I did or didn't. You'll have to go to SADSend Central and check it out for yourself. But I will say it worked. They won 3 straight.
And that's the thing. When I made my Timmy prediction, it was like, well, DeBrinket's going to score a lot of goals, and Timmy's probably going to have an assist on all of those goals. But the script has been flipped here, and I think his chemistry with Drake and Brady is even better than what we could have imagined it would be with Giroux and DeBrinket. So I'm sticking with Timmy. You're sticking with Brady. Timmy can't be that far behind, though, eh? What, a
No,
point behind?
that leads us. Well, no. He only has, I want to say he only has 5. So 2 back.
Okay.
Because he had 3 going into today. They were all in one game out of the first 4. Because he didn't have any on Thursday. Am I right with that? Yeah, I think I'm right.
He might be. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had the 3-point night, and we certainly stroked his ego with talking about what he meant to this locker room. Yeah, he had 3 points coming into today, and then he had 2 points today. So 5 points in 7 games for Tim Stützle, and that brings us to Chili's Bees. God, I could go for some Chili's right now too. No free ads. Is Stützle living up to your expectations? I'd say yeah.
I mean, that me saying I still expect him to lead the team in points. That's obvious. Yeah, for me, Ross. A JA for me for the record book.
Yeah, 100%. What about you guys? Let us know in the chat how you guys feel about Tim Stützle. I obviously think there's still things he can improve on.
Yeah,
He's
I
20,
mean, he's a young player in the league. Yeah, exactly.
20 years old. I think he's 20 until January. It's ridiculous. Yeah, because he
Yeah,
could have played in the World Juniors in August.
Yes, correct. Yep.
He's 5 points in 7 games. There were outlets that legitimately had him 10th in their rankings. I'm not naming names anymore. We're past that for now.
For now, I like how you throw that in.
Someone had him at 10 and some have him at 7. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. He's so talented.
Yeah, but it does seem crazy now, Ross. But we studied that 2020 draft. There was a lot of good players, and hindsight's 2020. But 10th is too low. Like 7th even is questionable.
It's ridiculous.
He got to be in the top 5. He had to be in the top 5.
Well, and they had him 7th, and they didn't have Seth Jarvis in front of him, and Seth Jarvis is easily a top 4 player right now out of this draft.
Yeah, agreed.
Hey, where'd that draft pick come from? Where they got Seth Jarvis?
Oh, I don't know that one. I thought you were talking about Timmy.
Toronto traded it to Carolina for the Patrick Marleau contract.
Oh,
yeah, and then guess what? You know why it was 13? Because they didn't even make it past the qualification round against Columbus. So that's why I hate how they kept that as playoff stats, because they weren't playoffs. They still had 4 rounds after that. Like the Leafs, like I like it because the first round streak continues, but they didn't even make the first round.
Yeah, I agree. That is garbage.
All right, why don't we take a couple more questions here? Nick Spence, great question. I'm going right back to you. Yes, Shawarma Palace. Yes, Shawarma Palace. We love Shawarma Palace. It is literally like we don't just say it; we mean it when we talk. Like Shawarma Palace. Literally,
ask our guy Jack. Jack's roaming around the city checking out spots. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to try a Shawarma Palace here. Maybe I'll bump into the Sen Central guys." And there we go. We bump into him. We end up spending the day with him.
They have 9 locations, and they bumped into us.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, don't just take our word for it. Try for yourself, honestly.
Yo, DR has an unbelievable question here for us.
Ooh, let's hear it. Doctor. Ooh. I'm going to say no, only because hitting 100 points is damn difficult. Like I think he'll be in the 80 to 90 area, Drake, but 100 points is tough. So unfortunately, I'm going to go no on that. Ross, how about you?
I think that he gets 90 this year, making like $3 million in real money. He is so nasty.
Yeah,
Might be. I want to say that Tim Stützle is the most like naturally gifted player on this team, but then it's a toss up to me between DeBrincat and Batherson.
No, I think you can give it to DeBrincat or Batherson, but in fairness, a little asterisk on there. Check the notes when Timmy's played as long as those guys have in the NHL, and then we'll report back. Right? I think that's.
So you think that DeBrincat and Baston should be above Timmy right now?
In just straight elite talent, yeah, I would put them above him.
Like when you watch them, where you're like, like that, he's a dude out there.
I would even, from what we've seen so far on this team this season, I would put Batherson ahead of DeBrincat. Like we've mentioned, DeBrincat's had good chances and he's looked nice, but Drake's done it all and he's buried. He's made the most of his opportunities.
And what he does defensively too, right?
Yeah.
Like what he does to create loose pucks and just like
Agreed.
I think he's bigger than people give him credit for too. Like he's
Steak Batherson. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's hitting people. Like think about him in his first game when he scored. He scored in his first NHL game against Detroit. I remember his little pick play off the face-off. Duchesne got it back to him, and that's how long he's been in the NHL, right? Like he only got a taste that year, and didn't really like produce. But who would on that team, honestly, in 2018-19? But like we saw him firsthand in Belleville. We knew how nasty he was going to be. That's why during that 2020 season before COVID, like 2019-20,
oh yeah,
it was COVID, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the COVID shortened season. Baston's rookie. That was every game I was betting Baston 3 points.
Yeah, and I love this from Foisey. Boots on the ground reports here, only on the Locked On Senators postcast. We got all the guys boots on the ground. Some guy asked for Batherson's stick, but he says, no, I'm really sorry. The stick's too hot right now. I cannot give it away. And you know what? I respect that. Like the guys that sometimes, and Don, I don't know, this is really throwing it back, but did you guys ever watch Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em Hockey, those VHSs that he would put out every year of highlights? And Don Cherry would show highlights of the guys that like kiss their stick and they're like talking to their stick and stuff. Maybe seems like a weird hockey guy move, but man, that is your weapon. Like that is what's making you your money. You got to respect the stick. So I love that move from Drake being like, you know what? I'd love to help out a fan, but this is my moneymaker right here. I'm not just passing this thing around because that, you know, the guy he gives it to, Ross, he's going to go out on the ODR and he's going to be scoring 1 million goals.
Oh yeah. Look at this. Read this stat for me.
Drake and Brady are tied for 4th in points in the league. I was not expecting that. Wow.
The league, bro. Well, it makes sense. Ottawa scored 6 goals a game.
1 million goals, yeah.
Remember after 2 games, we're like, hey, we weren't expecting goal scoring to be a problem.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, you love to see it, especially at home. Like if there's you got to show up at home and you got to score goals at home for the good people. Like Ross, your buddy Max said he had been to a couple games, but the games he'd been to, the team got shut out. So then he comes to the home opener with us, and he hears the goal. You're muted, Ross. I can't hear you there. But
we were so bad, dude.
Yeah, and then he comes to the game with us, and he gets to hear it 7 times. So that's how you keep a fan happy.
He lived in Halifax, my best buddy Max, and he was saying that I'm actually dying. I forgot about this. He comes home. He's like, I haven't been to a Sens game 5 years. All I want to do is hear the horn. I don't care if they lose.
And he heard it in like 40 seconds at the home opener or something like that.
Yeah, 1:03, I want to say it was. Yeah. Amazing. Crazy. Amazing. Final thoughts on today's game, Pills.
I'm just really proud of these guys for not letting the trap game get to them. And I know we've mentioned it, but it legitimately is a thing. Like I'm sure, like Ross, in my head, I just picture the Leafs before playing the Yotes. They're yucking it up at practice. Austin Matthews is telling the guys what suit he's going to wear the next day. Mitch Marner is acting like a golden retriever out there, just messing around. And they're talking about how many points they're going to get, but not your Ottawa Senators. They stay focused. They stay grinding, and they get the W here, unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay, now it's like Postcast after dark, like Showtime after dark back in the day, if you know what I mean.
Boy.
We're bringing in absolute chaos right now, and we appreciate everyone making us your first listen Monday through Friday. Hey, can we get a quick thank you for Cheryl Pounder for joining us? Amazing feedback on this article. Wait, let's let the chat decide. Martian is walking around the market right now. Do we add him into this chat?
We need to see the streets. It's Martian on the streets. We will hear from the streets. And Ross, we talked about this, but a little segment we're going to do later on, and we're going to convince Martian to do this, is he's going to be a street reporter interviewing people on the streets. But maybe he'll do that right now, actually.
All right, here he is. Martian, what's up, buddy?
How we doing, boys? Can you see me? Can you hear me? I can't see myself or hear myself. So how we?
No, you're sounding a lot better than I thought you would. Well, give me your intersection. I need your location right now.
Lewis right now, I think. No, Elgin McLaren.
Oh, you're at Elgin and McLaren. All right, we got Elgin Street in the mix. That I mean, everyone in the chat already knows.
Sir John A's action here.
Okay, all right.
You know what?
Was
was
it a bad day to be
honks already, boys? The streets are buzzing out here. I'm telling you right now that people see the jersey, people see the hat, whatever it is. They're giving the Go Sens go.
Martian.
Wait, I got an important question, Pilsy.
Okay, hit him.
Was it a bad day to be a Molson today?
Yeah, nice.
I mean, what do you think? Of course it was.
Where's Breck?
She's in the Sir John A's pub right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask her for analysis on the game.
I mean, we got a whole gang with us here, so.
Oh, okay. Look at you. Hey, wait to have friends too.
Yeah, congrats on friends.
Yeah, Frank's right though. Like for Elgin and McLaren, that's like you're at a legendary intersection in Ottawa. Like everyone knows Elgin and McLaren.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right in the middle of it.
Right.
Martian, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
How's the old voice doing? We know you and Ross were leading the Swayman charge. How you doing today?
It's not good. I tried to bellow a few out tonight, boys, and it just it didn't have this as it usually does. You know,
all that came out was you were trying to yell at Vamelka, which obviously doesn't sound as good as Swayman.
It doesn't.
What came out?
Quite hit. Yeah.
I miss you, Josh Brown. That's definitely what happened.
You know what? All I care about right now, boys, is the Sens money line and the Bet Online AG.
Yes.
You got it, Martian.
Martian, how much money has Shane Pinto made you over this year?
I don't even want. I could give you a tally. I don't know it off the top of my head. It's somewhere around $200 though. I'm a sure guy right now.
He's paying your bar tab tonight.
Yeah. Point.
Hey, so Martian, final question for me. The first people who are listening to this postcast who see you at Sir John A's, are you buying them a shot?
No, they should buy me a shot. You know what? I'll accept shots. I'm not gonna do that to myself at this point.
All right, so Martian, the triples at the Senate, no free ads, but the triples there after the game on Tuesday, probably unnecessary.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But God, we had some fun. We're good for the post on Monday?
I think everybody was always playing within their limits that night. That was one of those nights. This is one of those nights. I think we're gonna be here.
Yes, you are. Yo, you're in for the postcast on Monday?
I'll be in a little better shape.
All right, buddy. Save your voice. Have some tea tomorrow. But
stand out.
Yeah. Give us a standout.
Wait.
Should I let them know who
we have so far?
Yeah. Let them know who we have. Yeah.
You're not doubling. You're not stepping on our toes.
No.
Okay, give it to me.
I have Drake Batherson and Jake Sanderson.
Okay.
And Pilsy has Brady Kachuk, and he went off the board with his first one with Mark Kastelik with the fight in there too.
Mine.
Yes, Martian. Yes.
Oh.
How good did Casty look?
Momentum swinger tonight. Pilsy?
Yes.
Great pick. I'm not even, I don't even my pick. You guys know why. He was giving it tonight. And he made a big difference in the goal and the physicality. Pilsy, great pick.
I love it. Great hockey mind. Laleem's Martian, everyone.
Hey, well, you'll get those two great hockey minds together on Monday's postcast. Martian, have a good one, buddy. Great chatting with you.
You too. Glad I could jump on there, boys. Have a good rest of your night.
Hey, likewise. All right, that's at Liam's Martian. What an absolute
beauty. Oh, my God.
And no curses. That was shocking.
True. A clean report from the streets for Martian.
No swearing, and he dropped a sponsor reference.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what you call an absolute perfect. The Three Musketeers are humming here. And I thought I was maybe pandering a little bit to my bottom six love, but when you got Martian co-signing your top Central standout, you feel good about yourself. So I feel good.
Oh, yeah, because you were getting some dirty looks. Not dirt. You weren't getting chirp, but you're getting some dirty looks in the chat. I could tell.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind.
Unreal. Okay, put a bow on this one for us. Or did you while I was bringing in Martian? I was a little preoccupied.
We did, but I'll double knot it here, Ross. We'll get double knot bow on the end here. Go Sens go.
Wait, can you do that again in 3 seconds? I want to play something I pulled up.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Go Sens go. Woo!
Oh, just let it sink in.
Woohoo!
Hilarious. What an absolute start to the season at home for your Ottawa Senators. They will continue that on Monday against Dallas, then wrap up this 5-game homestand against Minnesota on Thursday. We appreciate everyone. We honestly can't thank you enough. And this is our first time being able to chat since the debacle yesterday on Twitter. We would like to publicly, if we didn't already on Twitter, disavow the garbage that was spouted on Locked On Warriors. I know it's Locked On. You see the same template. That's just the most trash take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, a garbage take. It makes them feel like they're above fans, and being credentialed is everything. Look,
he's not even credentialed. Anyways,
no. Yikes. Yeah, we don't need to get into that. Disavow. Bottom line is, we cannot thank you guys enough. Like, we're at 1 hour and 8 minutes for a game up against the Arizona Coyotes on a 4:00 Saturday game. Like, we love hanging out with you guys. You guys keep us going. We're grinding because you guys are passionate. We love and respect you guys. We want you on the show. We're the People's Pod. We're giving away tickets to go to the game. We're giving you discounts. Like, we're trying to keep the good times going. So yes, definitely none of that happening on the Locked On Senators podcast.
Oh, buddy, I'm so happy that we saw this. This should have been on the real Postcast. This will be on Monday's show. Brady Tkachuk with that last goal.
200 points, right?
200 points. So get this. We're going to finish with some trivia. Are you ready for some trivia? Are you ready for some trivia? Are you ready for some trivia?
Yeah, spooky music is needed here.
We got trivia. How many players reached 200 points in their first 5 seasons with the Ottawa Senators franchise?
Spezza.
Correct. First, actually, at 345 in his first 5 seasons.
Heater didn't play 5 years, did he? No.
Nope.
Alfie.
Yes. He's
Yashin.
third.
Yashin.
Second.
No, not Carl. Carl didn't get there. Did he?
He's 4. He's next.
Okay. 5. Okay. Hossa.
Yes.
That's 5.
No. The first 5 seasons. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brady Tkachuk became the 7th.
Okay, so I only need one more. Ooh.
Yeah, between
guys, help me out in the chat here. Yeah, Joe, I've got those 5.
Yep,
Bonk?
Yep.
Bonk?
No. But it is someone that started as a rookie. It's not like they got him and brought him in.
Not Stone. No.
Nope.
All right, I give up. We're gonna make these poor people suffer. You got to give me stick taps there. I did pretty good. I hit the first 6 the first 5 without any mishaps.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let it get so that people in the chat can go a little bit longer. No.
Not Dag. No, come on. We wish.
Martin Havlat.
Yeah, okay. Ryan Sweeney, good call. I should have got that one. I feel pretty good about myself.
At the same time as me, so we'll give Ryan credit for that one. Ryan Sweeney, attaboy. Dude, first live postcast of the year, because we had some trouble with Restream the first night, so we recorded one. I love it. I think I like it as much as the podcast, if not more.
I think a little bit more, because like we said, we're the People's Pod. We want to just yuck it up with you guys and talk some hockey and get into it and have the feedback in the chat, bringing in Martian from the streets. This is what it Ross, may I? It doesn't get better than this.
The crowd goes crazy. as you guys all have at the CTC, as we packed another 15K in there this afternoon. An afternoon game against the Coyotes, 15K. I just got to say, over the last number of years, that would have been 8 or 9, honestly. Like
less. Yeah.
the fan base is back. We love to see it. We love having everyone in the chat. We'll do it again Monday night. Wait, oh, he's answering. Is Evan answering? Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought you were asking us about it, but yeah, Locked On Warriors, screw them. Honestly, don't know them, don't want to know them. We're the people's pod. We're for the people, by the people. That's the show. That's what we are, because we would be nothing without you. So we appreciate you all. Yeah, you can go check it out. I retweeted it at Send Central. I just said this is trash, because they said the only podcasts they want to listen to are ones where you're not have access to the team. Whereas the podcasts I don't want to listen to are the ones where people are talking down to me. I don't need that. I can choose whatever I want. So we appreciate you guys choosing us. Oh, yeah. The soundboard is perfect, but I need to upload some new tunes, and we're going to do that going forward. We appreciate you all for making us your first listen of the day and your one-stop shop for all things Ottawa Senators related. You can check out our YouTube for more. We told you we got a crossover coming with Dane Lewis from Locked On Stars. That's going to be an exclusive, because we're going to have too much to cover on Monday to put that in the show. We got our prospect roundup, Pistol Pete, Pew Pew, Pedersen. We've got Stephen Halliday, the disher himself, 3 more assists. This guy's got 7 assists in his first 8 college games. It's just unreal. There's so much going on in the world of Ottawa Senators, and we appreciate you celebrating that with us. For today, though, we say goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Postcast and sticking around after dark. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. Go enjoy the night. It's a 6-2 win for the Ottawa Senators against the Arizona Coyotes. They've won 3 straight. We'll talk to you on Monday on the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day.